Everyone wondered how padding once to a string S on both the ends makes solving a lead code question 10 times easier. Let's see how. So herein, we are given a binary string S. This is the setup. We have to perform one trade. In that trade, we have to convert all the block, the continue any middle block of 1, and we have to flip it to zeros, and then we have to convert that a contiguous block of 0 surrounded by 1 to all ones, and then we have to return the maximum number of ones that we've seen so far. So let's see, how do we approach this? First, let's count the total number of ones, and in the end we are going to return the total number of ones, right? So let's say int total ones is equal to 0. And in the end, we are going to return total ones plus something, right? We'll do that later. So let's write plus 0 here as a marker. Then what do we do? For character CH in S, if my character is equal to 1, then I increment my total ones, right? So now we have a total ones. Now let's see, what do we do with, flipping part. So herein, we know that we are adding 1 to the start and end of the string. So let's see why. This is 1 plus s plus 1. Now the question says that we have to flip a block of 0 surrounded by 1 to all ones. So if we don't add ones to the start and end of the string, we won't be able to flip the blocks, start and end blocks of 0. So that is why, to avoid any messy if else and extra conditional checks, we're just having this padding here. So now what we do, we'll see something, the intuition. So this thing, let's say our blocks are, maybe there are some blocks of zeros, let's say 0, 0, 0. Then there are some blocks of ones, and there are some blocks of zeros. And let's say this center block is the one in which we're trying to flip 1 to 0. So in here, when we flip, what happens? This entire block gets merged into 0, 0, 0, 0, right? So this entire block gets merged. Do you see how this happens? Now we have to change, we have to flip all the continuous zeros to ones. So what we can do now is that all of these zeros will now be converted to ones. So initially we had these many ones, and in the end we have these many ones. So what is my net gain in ones? So my delta is equal to length of 0 before plus length of 0 after, right? So yeah, so this is the same thing we are trying to calculate. So let's do that. We have a list of characters. Character is equal to new array list. And then we also have a list of length, which is integer to store everything. So we have block length. And let's name this block character. So now what happens? We have a new array. Now we are going to iterate from I equal to 0. So for int I equal to 0, while I is less than t dot length, let's iterate. So my I is 0. Now my current character is what? So current character is T dot character at I, and my J starts with I. In J is equal to I. So while my J is same as I, let's increment the length. So while my J is less than T dot length, and T dot character at J is equal to current character, let's increment J. Fine. And then we have to get the length of the, length of my current continuous block. So the length would be J minus I. So let's add it to block length. So my block length dot add will be J minus I. And then my I would be equal to J. And let's also add block character as current character. Current character. So this is done. Block character dot add current character. So yeah. So now simply we have to iterate through this array. So let's say index is equal to 1. So while my index is let's use a for loop. So for int index is equal to 1, index is less than, let's say, block length dot size minus 1, index plus plus. Why minus 1? Because we have to, see the left and right 0 length. So my before 0 length would be length 0 before. This will be block length. So wait, if my character, block character dot get element at index, if the character is 1, only then length 0 block is equal to block length dot get index, right? And after length 0 after is this length 0 after is this index plus 1, and this will be index minus 1. Now what happens? So this is index plus 1. That's why we have done block length dot size minus 1. Now what do? We will have a make maximum. Let's calculate the delta. So now I'll have a max delta variable, which is initialized to 0. So let's add max delta here. And let's calculate max delta in here. So my max delta would be math.max of max delta and length 0 after plus length 0 before. Thanks for watching. That was it from my end. Bye. By the way, yeah. So this gives us big O of n time complexity, and our space complexity would be big O of n. So let's run this. Yeah, so the code runs and submitting the code. Yeah, that was it from mine. Thanks for watching. Bye.